Okay, well, on to another story that shook things up in New York, but seems to have fallen by the wayside, and that is the Andrew Cuomo story. Now, you'll hear some new developments on this coming week because he is scheduled to turn himself in at some point this week for arrest. He's now been charged with a crime, albeit it's a misdemeanor. Now, a misdemeanor, means it's punishable by up to 1 year in jail. A felony is punishable by more than 1 year in jail. Although, folks, as you well know, you can have someone charged with a felony who ultimately pleads down to something and doesn't actually serve more than a year in jail. But that's the way the different types of crimes are broadly defined. So Andrew Cuomo, former governor of New York, has been charged with a misdemeanor sex crime for something that occurred on December 7th of just last year, so less than a year ago, December 7th, 2020, at his mansion, which he was at the time the governor. And the charging papers read, the affidavit of the law enforcement person reads, Andrew M. Cuomo did intentionally and for no legitimate purpose forcibly place his hand under the blouse shirt of the victim, name redacted, and into her intimate body part, specifically the victim's left breast, for purposes of degrading and gratifying his sexual desires, all contrary to the provisions of the statute in such case made and provided. So on those terms right there, Andrew Cuomo's going to be arrested and charged in New York State with a misdemeanor groping crime against this particular staffer. And if you want to go out there and you can find her name, you can dig up more details on the story if you want to, but that's certainly quite the fall from grace that we've seen for Governor Andrew Cuomo in New York. And as we've said here many times, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, right? Could not have happened to a nicer person. And, of course, we know that part of the impetus for the report that was done on him by the New York Attorney General's office and the charges that were ultimately brought against him now is that the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, is running for governor now. So she's wanting to show that she took out this bad person. And, by the way, I don't think she's going to be maybe she'll be better in that area of not groping staffers. Maybe she's better than Cuomo in that sense, but I don't think in a lot of other senses she's going to be any better than he was.
Much of the same. As
a leader. That's right. That's what they get in New York, and just don't bring it down here. Don't New York or Florida, okay? If you want to come down here, there's a reason, right? So try to hang with Governor DeSantis. Let's keep Florida nice.
Don't New York the Florida, and don't California the Texas.
Exactly. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.